Okay, we're live on YouTube, so let's get this going. Okay, Nicole, can you mute your side?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we're gonna bring up the PowerPoint. Okay, 1 second. Okay, all right. Welcome everyone to StarMax Real Estate School. Uh, Today we start another round of round robin. Back to chapter 1 and 2. Okay, so Um, it's really exciting that you guys have decided to get into this industry, okay? And I'm gonna tell you that you're in the right place at the right time, okay? And you will make lots of profits, okay, in this industry. Okay. Since this is a bilingual class, I'm gonna have to translate a little bit, okay? Alright, so 今天呢，我们开始这个房地产这个课程了，OK，这是从章节1到章节2，嗯，我们这边呢，你参加这个学校，OK，入进去这个行业是非常好，非常好的时机，嗯，等一下我们会告诉大家为什么，OK。So chapter 1, we start with chapter 1, okay, is introduction to real estate. And California's real estate market, let's look at what we have here, okay? So I'm going to do a chart, okay? And you will know pretty much what's going on, okay? So this is the dollar amount, okay? And this is the time, okay? And as you know, any and all industry, okay, just like the stock market, okay, it goes up and down, okay. So the real estate market is no different, okay. So it goes up and down, and then up and down, okay. Right. So why is this trending up? Okay, you see this trend trending up, okay. This is due to inflation. All right. Remember, if you could remember, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, for older folks, 50 years ago, right? What things cost, right? I remember back in the 70s, right? The early 70s, right? a slice of pizza is 25 cents. Okay, a slice of pizza. And today's, right, the cheapest slice of pizza you could get is from what, Costco, right? And it's 190 something, right? 195. So, you know, four times two is 8 times, right? 8 times, right? That quarter, right, doesn't buy you anything, right? Today, except maybe what, 10 minutes of on a parking meter, right? So, you know, this is called inflation, okay? So your real estate houses and stuff like that, right? It keeps up with inflation. So you're good, right? Your dollar, right? If you hang on to that quarter, right? Back what, 50 years ago, right? Until now, this is worth 1/8 of that, right? Divide by three, right? 3 cents, right? A little bit more than 3 cents. 1 second. Hello.
Good morning, Pat. Sorry to bother you. I was just wondering, were you going down to the office today?
Yeah, I'm here broadcasting. I'm in the middle of a class right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'll be there. I'll be here until 12 to 1. Okay.
Okay, if we don't see Pat today, it'll be the next Saturday.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
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 All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay. Sorry about the interruption. So let's look at this chart. Okay. I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time on here. Okay. Um, you get your peaks, right? And then you get your valleys. Okay. 我们讲一讲，OK，这个南加州了，OK，这个房地产这个市场是很火的，OK，就是很像股票一样，什么行业都有高峰低谷等等，OK，所以呢，你就看那个 OK，但是你看那个这个线 OK，就是它永远就是呃高的以前的 OK，这个就是叫经济膨胀了 OK。50年前 OK 一块披萨 OK 是25 cents 一个 quarter 嘛 OK，现在最便宜的你到 Costco 这边就是1块9毛5 OK 1块8倍了 OK，所以你这个钱 OK，你这个25的硬币 OK。如果你 keep 住50年，到现在的话，OK，只有值3分钱，OK，3分多一些了，OK。所以呢，房地产的话，房楼，OK，永远都是跟着这个膨胀、经济膨胀走的，所以你在这个行业是非常好，OK。So when is the last peak? Anybody remember? It's back in '06, right? '06, '08, okay. And what did it bottom out? Okay, 2011, right? And then if you remember the previous, right, it was something like uh, 1989 and it's 1996. Okay, you could get all this data, okay, in past history, okay. So why am I putting up this chart? Okay, so you could gauge, right, the up and down of the market, so you could profit from it, okay. 为什么我告诉你这是高峰跟低谷这个年份？OK，你知道它这个方向的话，你会赚很多钱。OK，所以呢，06年是上个高峰，OK，上个高峰是1989年，OK，低谷的话是2011年，OK，上个就是1996年。So let's analyze this, right？我们看看，right？ So when it goes down, okay, how many years does it take to go down? Okay, so here is what, 7 years, right? Okay, over here, right, is what, 5 years, right? So 5 to 7 years, right, it goes down. Okay, what about going up? Okay, going up, right, from here to here, it took them 10 years, right? And So it's basically 7 to 10 years. Okay. So if that is the case, right? What is this? Is a big question mark here, right? 你看掉下来的话，这是5年到7年的时间，OK，上去的话7年到10年，OK，所以这个我们现在的高峰在哪里了？OK，so you add right, you add 7 or you add 10, right? So it's 2018 and 2021. This year, right? This is gone, right? Okay, so 2021. Right? Is it gonna be tomorrow? No, right? Is it gonna be the end of the year? Maybe. Okay. Is it gonna go beyond, the 10 years? Maybe. Okay. We don't know, right? We're just guessing, right? That it will go up um, at the peak, right? And as we see now, prices are shooting up like crazy, okay? 所以我们一算的话，OK，你加七，这是2018年，OK，这是已经过了，不是2018年是高峰。所以呢，扎实的话，这是2021年，这是今年，OK，是明天吗？不是，OK，是年底吗？不知道，right？Maybe，OK，有可能，OK，还是2022年、23年，不知道，OK，因为我知道的话就不用干活了，right？所以呢，这个要观察，OK，but looking at this。You have many factors, right? Okay，我们看这个有好几个东西要考虑。Okay，the interest rate, okay, is at all-time low. Okay, Federal Reserve Banks is lending out money to other banks at 0 to 0.25. Okay, the market interest rate is anywhere from 1.75, okay, to 2.5. Okay, it went up a little bit, okay, but nevertheless that's the case maybe, okay. 利息这方面的话，中央银行借出去给别的银行是0到0.25%，OK，我们这个贷款额度我们贷款那个利息的话1.75到2.5左右，OK，现在这两个礼拜比较高一些，OK。And number two, right? There's no supply, right? 没有货，OK。Very low inventory. Okay, so the price go up. Okay, the price goes up. Okay, so it's not likely that we're gonna have a bunch of houses coming in the next month. Okay, maybe the end of the year, beginning of next year. Okay, so it comes very close, right? That's 10 plus. Okay, so my take is that it will go even beyond that. Okay, so until it's not affordable. OK，我的概念就是，OK，这个房价，OK，涨到一个程度，OK，每人可以买了，买不起了，这个时候它都会垮下来，OK。So this is my 2 cents on the real estate market here, okay? So as you can see, right, on the uphill, on the peak, right, you have to get ready, right, to take advantage, right? Over here, you're gonna have a lot of foreclosures, right? Lots of opportunities. Okay, once the market plunges, okay, so get your cash ready so you could buy, right? Okay, and then invest, and then you could continue flipping down, okay, if you know how. So most people make money up here in this segment, okay, but you can make money on the down run too, okay, just like the stock market. OK，所以如果你知道这个方向的话，right，你上去的时候可以赚钱，掉下来也可以去赚钱。掉下来的就是投资这个拍卖屋啊等等，right，另外的方式来投资了，OK。So I'm glad you guys have a snapshot of this, okay? You can take pictures of it. I'm gonna save it, okay, as a PNG, okay. And I'm gonna clear this now, okay? So take a picture if you need to, okay? All right. Okay, I'm gonna clear all drawings now. All right. So now you know the market. Okay, it's a perfect opportunity for you to get into real estate. Okay, and make those commissions. So let's look at this. Each state has its own real estate licensing. Okay, so is California. California, they have a different name, right? They try to change it to California Bureau of Real Estate, but still, it's gonna be called Department of Real Estate. Okay, Department of Real Estate, and it's DRE for short. The current name is California Bureau of Real Estate. Okay, it's too long. No one is picking it up. Okay, so they're gonna go back to Department of Real Estate. It's been this name for like 4 or 5 years. Okay, each state has, and then you could go to Calgary, California, or you could just go to dre.ca.gov. Okay, you could do that. Okay, all right. 南加州的房地产部门呢，它名称，OK，名字，OK，就是 California Bureau of Real Estate，OK，它这个名字已经用了5年了，OK，它的人家记不住，OK，很难记住，他已经习惯这个 DRE Department of Real Estate，所以呢，他会回复到 DRE。这个网址的话，就是 dre.ca.gov 也可以用的。All right, the meaningful technological changes in real estate. Okay, so I'm gonna draw on here a little bit. Okay, I don't know if you've seen real estate agents like maybe 10 years ago. Okay, uh, before all this internet and apps and you know smartphones, etc. Okay, it's very tough to do this business. Okay, um, right now it's a breeze. OK，以前做房产的话就很辛苦的，OK，什么都没有，OK。现在呢，我们高科技的网址、手机、GPS 等等，OK，现在很容易，OK。So real estate buy and they start online，OK，每个卖主跟买主，OK，他马上跳进去这个网址，OK，来看房子在哪里。So they use what? Majority, 90% of the buyer and seller, they go to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. Okay, just to start looking, start shopping. Okay, and of course, the traditional way, they still ask the friends and family, right? What realtor did you use, right? But the younger folks, they just jump on the computer and start searching, right? And of course, there's other things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You have WhatsApp. Okay, and of course you have WeChat. Okay, WeChat is for the Asian community. Okay, mostly Chinese. Okay, so you have all of these things. Everybody's connected. Okay, and 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 if you take advantage of it, right, this is how you can market yourself. Okay, 你看我们有很多的东西可以用上，right？Facebook、Twitter、Instagram，OK？微信，OK？WhatsApp，OK？Line，there's also Line，right？Etc. Right? So there's tons of stuff that we can connect with other people. OK，所以我们把这个网连起来的话，OK，你可以打这个市场，OK，会有很好的回报。High cost of California real estate. Okay, California is one of the you know, coastal states like just like New York, okay, and Texas, right? It borders some bodies of water, right? And the real estate is really expensive here, okay, especially in Northern California, okay。我们加州呢是西岸西岸东岸的州呢，就这个房产是很活了，OK，这个比较贵。德州也是靠海的，OK，所以这三个州呢，它的房产，OK，这个价值就比较高，OK，所以你投这边的话，你的回报也会很高，OK。So California value will reduce evenly due to the financial crisis, the '06 crisis, right? '08, all the way down to 2011, okay? So it slowed down the construction of houses, right? So right now there's a shortage, a housing shortage, okay? There's a shortage. No matter where you look at it, okay, there's a shortage. That's why rent is going up, right? The house price is going up, everything in the market is up, okay? So and what's fueling it is the low interest rate. Okay, it makes it more affordable now. Okay, way affordable. Okay, because you could buy houses now at 2.5. Okay, and 3. Okay, that range. Before, right, you're talking about 4 to 6. Right, back in 2000, right, early 2000, it was still at 8. Okay, 2000, right? This is 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you could see the affordability, right? Drop 4 times. Okay, a quarter, right? So you could buy 4 times more houses. Okay, so that's why a lot of people want to buy houses now. Okay，所以你看，这个08年、2011年的话，right？OK，这个价位掉下来，没人盖房子。OK，现在呢就没房子了。OK，所以加上呢，我们这个利息这么低，很多人 OK 他可以买房子的，但是没房子，就是一出来就抢房子。OK，现在可以买房子是2.5到3。OK，一两年前这是4到6。OK，2000年 OK 就是2000年的时候呢8%。OK，所以你看这个时候到现在你可以可以贷款4倍你的贷款。OK，所以呢很多人会想上有买自己的房子了。OK， Okay, real estate is a profitable profession. Okay, big question, right? Do I make the money? Okay, you know, if you make over 50K plus, you're in the top, 5-10% range. Okay, so this is a good indication, right? So let's see if it meets that criteria, right? 你看，如果你5万块一年的话，这些工作都算好的了。OK， 这是5%以上的 OK 这个工资。OK。So what's the commission? Commission pay is the total commission is 6%, right? Now it went down to 5%, sometimes 4%. Okay, and we take half of that, right? So it's 2%. You take 2% of a $500,000 home. Okay, that's $10,000. Okay, for each transaction that you do. But you have to share that with the company, right? If you're at 80%, okay, that's $8,000. Okay, per transaction. Okay, so you divide that into here, right? 50,000. Okay, divided by 8,000. Okay, you have to make 6.25 houses by yourself. Okay, roughly. Sometimes you get 2.5%, right? So it helps a little bit. So let's say 6. Okay. So every other month, okay, every other month you make a sell, right? You make a transaction, you could make 50K. If you do one a month, you hit 100K. Okay. So it checks out. Okay. So it's a good profession. Okay. Now this is the real estate portion only, right? RE only. Okay. What if you add loans? Okay. Add loans, right? If you could produce the same, right? It average about 2,000, 3,000, right? So it's about 2.5K per case. Okay. You do one a month. Okay. That will bring up your income another 30,000. Okay. It's easily, okay, 30K. Okay. And you do solar, right? You do solar, right? Um, Also one a month. Okay, that's 2 grand. Okay, so that's another 2,400, 24,000. Okay, so you know, on par, right? If you just do all three, okay, you have 104K. Okay, that's being average. Okay, an average agent. Okay, sell 6 houses a year, right? You do 12 loans. Okay, and you do 12 solar. Okay, just referring, right? But the maximum commission, right, is always negotiable. Remember that, okay? On the test, okay, they will ask you who sets the commission, right? Who sets the commission? Who dictates what the commission is? Okay. The answer is always negotiable. OK，考试里面他就问你 OK，谁设定这个佣金的？是屋主吗？是房地产经理吗？是买主吗？都不是 OK，是讨价还价 negotiable OK，所以你看我们怎么去赚钱呢 ？Right？如果你有5万块的这个公司的话，Right？OK，算 OK 了 OK。所以你看，每一栋房子大概50万，50万的话，OK，我们拿最低的来算，OK，2%，2%是1万块，1万块你80%就是有这个 OK 8000块，OK，8000块呢，right，你除进去5万块，OK，6.25栋，OK，你就算到6栋好了，OK，隔一个月，OK，你买卖一栋房子就可以拿到5万块。努力一些的话，right，每一个月做一套，你就有10万块了，OK。如果你说，哎，我这个太猛了，right，你就揸窿嘛，right，做贷款，OK，一个贷款大概是2.5%，OK，如果你乘12的话，12个窿，OK，就是一个月做一个窿很简单，OK，这是3万块。然后太阳能的话，我们也做，每个月你只是找一个客户，right，就是2000块，OK，2万4，加起来的话，right，房产6套房子，OK，做贷款，太阳能也是104，OK，10万块以上的工资，所以我们做这一行的话，很轻松，你就有这个六位数的收入了，OK。So you could get 6-figure income very easily, okay, in real estate market. And we have, starting agents, right? They go into 200K because they have the market, right? They have people, investors, right? Um, being their first customer, right? They make, first year, okay, over 200K, okay? It's doable, okay? Depending on how aggressive you are and how you work your clientele, okay? So with the high cost of real estate comes the potential for high profit, okay? So we just told you that, right? Commission is the amount paid usually as a percentage of the selling price, typically a total of 6%, 5%, or 4%, okay, for both sides to broker or services, right? So it's negotiable, okay? Okay, real and personal property. We have to define here now, okay? What is real estate property, real property versus personal property, OK？ 我们又告诉你 OK， 不动产跟私人财产是不一样的 OK， 它们那个差别在哪里 OK？The ownership is a bundle of rights. OK， 它是一把权利 OK， 有什么东西在里面呢 ？First one is possession. You own it. OK， 你这个是你的房子，你别人可以拿走 OK。Enjoyment OK， 你可以享受 right 这个房楼 OK。Control you could control it right， 你可以控制这个房子 OK， 你可以扎建 right 等等 right， 你可以租出去 OK， 什么都可以。And disposition right， 你可以处理 right， 怎么处理呢？就是总贷款啊，这个卖掉啊 right 等等 OK 都可以的。So these 4 items are bundle rights. Okay, remember them. Okay, it's very basic, and they will ask you on a test, right? The following are bundle rights, right? Except, right? You know, questions like that, right? 他会问你 OK， 一把权利里面有什么东西 ，right？ 然后不是的话是什么 ？OK？ Okay, so they give you some pictures of it. It's the same thing, right? Right to possession, enjoy, control, disposition. Okay， 你的房子 ，OK， 你可以享受、控制，然后处理 ，OK。Alright, real property is the right or interest, right, that a person has in the land or anything attached to the land, fixed to the land, like a tree, right, or fence, a wall, okay, a house, okay, etc. Okay， 不动产的话 ，OK， 就是你有这个权利 ，OK， 在一个地皮上面 ，OK， 还是地皮上面占什么东西都是不动产 ，OK。So anything attached to land, you cannot really move it with hand, right, easily. So that's called real estate. So land above and below the surface, OK， 那个地皮面上面下都是你的 ，OK， including literal and riparian rights. These are water rights. Okay, literal is the bay. Okay, the ocean. Okay, and lake. Okay, this is called literal. Riparian is more like rivers, right, or streams. Okay, rivers and streams. OK， 这个单词 literal，OK， 这是关于水性的 ，OK， 一种水性的群力 ，OK， 譬如说湖边 ，OK， 湖水 ，OK， 这个湾的水 ，OK， 海洋的水 ，OK。Riparian rights 这个也是关于水的，但是呢，他们说 riparian 这是河跟小河 ，OK， 河水 ，OK， 跟小河这个水 ，OK。So all of this, okay, if it's a river, right, they divide that into half, okay. This belongs to that house and that belongs to this house, okay. That's how they appropriate the water, okay. Typically, okay. 所以呢，一条河 ，right， 它在中间画个线 ，OK， 上面的话就是这栋房子，上面就是这边的房子 ，OK。Anything permanently attached or fixed to the land improvements, such as building fences and walls, is also called real estate, real property. OK， 都是站了在地皮上面的话，像房子、围墙等等 ，OK， 都是不动产。All right, real property continue. Okay, anything incidental or opportune to the land, shares of, stock in a water company easement is also real estate, real property. That which is immovable by law, attached by roots, vegetation, landscape is also real property. OK， 他们说 OK， 跟着房子走的东西也是不动产，譬如说，一份股份 ，OK， 水公司的股份 ，OK， 因为它有水塔等等 ，OK， 因为你房子，有权利用这个水，从这个水塔公司，这个股票也是算不动产的东西，有让路也是不动产 ，OK， 比如说这个树啊、花草啊等等 ，OK， 都是不动产。So if you look at this, right, if you own this land, that's a big piece of land, right? If you own this piece of land, you don't need to attend this class, okay? Okay, so whatever that land surface area, right, you go all the way to the center of the earth. So if you have gold, oil, gas, right, it's all yours, okay? And then the airspace, right, everything above you, right? I think it's like 30,000 feet, okay? So that's government space, okay? That's international airspace or whatever, okay? So airspace, but most city limit you to 35 feet. Okay, some limit you to 25 feet. Okay, you cannot build more than 25 feet or 35 feet high, right? In some cases. So you have the airspace, and then you have all the earth below, okay? 所以你看，你在地球上面，right， 有一块地皮 ，OK， 你有这么大一块的地皮的话，你就不用上这个课了 ，OK。所有的东西在上面到地球的中心 ，OK， 然后空间上面的话 ，OK， 都是你的。它可能有这个政府有限制了 ，OK， 3万尺以上就是他们的 ，OK。但是你盖房子的话，很多城市都不给你 ，OK， 这是独立物 ，OK， 不给你盖超过35尺了 ，OK， 也有这个说法 ，OK。Right, personal property, okay, so let's talk about what is personal property, right? 我们看看这个什么叫私人财产 ，okay? So they define it as such, right? Personal property is any property that is movable, right? 可以移动的 ，okay? and cannot be properly classified under the definition of real property. 所以它是可以移动的，加上呢，它不是不动产，就是私人财产。So anything not defined as real property, okay, implements, right, is an example. Growing crops cultivated annually, fruits and nuts. Okay, 果树上面的果、坚果等等 ，OK， 不是不动产 ，OK， 可以摘下来的 ，right， 这个是什么？私人财产，叫 implement，OK，so that vocabulary you have to know it, okay, you have to memorize it. Implements, okay. The ownership of personal property is transferred with the bill of sale, just like a sales receipt, right? Okay, bill of sales. Okay. 你怎么去转让这是新财产了？你这买卖 ，OK， 一个清单嘛，一个票，哎，就可以了。Alright, fixtures. This is another definite terms, right? Called fixture. Fixture is personal property attached to or incorporated into the land in such a manner as become real property, okay, temporarily, okay. 所以呢 ，fixture 这个名称就是私人财产 ，OK， 它安了在不动产上面 ，OK，it could be land, it could be the wall, right? It could be the ceiling, okay, like fans, lights, okay, TVs, right? Okay, and it's temporary, okay. 然后呢，你站了在地皮上面，这个墙上面，这个天花板上面 ，OK， 然后呢，它就变为不动产了，但是是暂时性的 ，OK， 你取下来的话 ，OK， 就变为私人财产。So this is what we call fixture。所以这样子的形状的话，这是叫 fixture。So how do you test it, right? Think of Maria, right? How do you attach it, right? How do you adapt it? What is your intention? Okay, your relationship of the parties, you and your landlord, right? And of course, if you have any agreement, right? 所以你可以用这个考验，这个是不是私人财产 ，right？ 是不是 fixture？OK？ 你怎么样去安装的 ，right？ 你怎么去用它 ，right？ 你是用来去做生意的吗？还是你就是安了上去给这个屋主 ，OK？ 然后呢，你跟屋主的关系是什么东西 ，right？ 加上了你有没有协议，怎么处理这个这些设备 ，OK？ Trade fixture, right? Remember, okay? Trade fixtures. Always, 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 always personal property. Okay? Removal exception to the rule. Right? 可以拿走的 Okay? Equipment used in the normal course of business which is considered personal property as long as any removal damages can be repaired. Like holes in the wall, right? Holes in the ceiling, nails, screws, right? Just patch it up and paint it, and it's okay. And it's transferred by bill of sales. Okay? 所以呢 ，fixture 这个单词呢，就是永远是私人财产 ，OK？ 但是你可以安装暂时性到不动产上面就变为不动产 ，OK？ 你可以移走的 ，OK？ 所以设备呢，你做生意的设备，来炉头、烤炉，来电视、柜台不是柜台这是收银台，来等等的东西 ，OK？ 设备。你安装上去，你可以移走的话，然后移走这些东西，这个洞等等，你补完油漆就 OK 了。OK， 然后怎么去转让呢？就是用这个 bill of sale 这个清单来转让。OK， 收据 Okay, method of land description, right? So this is very basic. Okay, how do you describe a piece of land? Okay, 怎么去形容一块地皮 ？Okay, common address 普通的地址 Okay, it doesn't give enough information Okay to the properly describe or locate a property Okay, 你给我一个地址 Okay, 我不知道这个面积是多大 Right 什么房楼都不知道 Right 所以呢普通的地址不够的 So we have three ways Right 我们有三个方式 We have three ways to describe land Okay, first one meets and bounds Okay, 这是距离跟这个一个定位 Okay 来形容这个地皮 Number two, sections and township Okay, they call it the US government survey 这是美国政府用一个方式来形容地皮在哪里 Okay, and then we have lots, blocks, and tracts OK， 这个是老方式了，一片地皮 OK， 街道，然后你这个地皮在里面，这个街道里面，然后它记录到一本书里面 OK， 然后就知道你的地皮在哪里，然后多大的地皮。So let's look at each one of them, okay? Alright, meets and bounds surveyors map, okay? So this method of identifying is probably in relationship to the boundaries, right? And distance and angles from a given starting point. Okay. So complicated description that survey use. Okay. Some people understand it, some people don't. Okay. So the surveyor uses this unique way. Okay. Meets a measure of distance. Okay, 这个距离 okay, it could be in feet, yards, rods, or chains, right? But we don't use chains and rods, right? And we don't typically use yards. We use meters. Okay, 我们都是用英尺跟这个欧洲的米多少米 ？Okay, bounds, okay, the starting points and ending points and markers between used to describe boundaries. Okay, 这个都是一个点 ，OK， 终点 ，OK， 开点、终点 ，OK， 然后终点 ，OK， 开点中间的点 ，OK， 加后面的点 ，OK， 就可以知道你的距离怎么用 ，OK，natural bounds，OK， 你可以用，you could use river, trees or big rocks，OK， 你可以用河。那个大树 ，OK， 那个大的石头等等。Man-made bound, right? Canal, roads, stake or benchmarks. 人做的 ，right？ 就是这个水道啊 ，right？ 路边啊 ，right？ 然后这个钉子 ，OK， 都可以做个标志。So let's look at this. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And move down here. Okay, so you look at this, right? So it starts from here, the fence corner, right? Your starting point. 这个开始这个点就是在这个围墙的角角 ，OK? So you say, let's go how many feet, right? 2,664 feet eastward to here. Another fence corner, right? 另外一个围墙的角角 ，OK? And then you go southeast at whatever degrees, right? Okay, how many feet? 1,302 feet to the iron pin in the wall, right? 这个长壁的钉子 ，Okay, and then you go westward 去西边 ，Okay, 到另外围墙的找 ，Okay， 然后呢回到原来 ，Okay, you go northwest, Okay, this is southeast. You go east, and then you go west. Okay, so you have three things here, right? You have all these bounds, right? Or your reference points, right? 这个点 right? 唯一。然后呢 your distance, right? 的距离 okay? And then they forgot to mention a little bit, right? It's your direction, right? Where you traveling to, right? Okay, east, northeast, southeast, west, north, etc. Right? So the three factors that the survey have to provide you with, okay? So the outcome is that this is the piece of land that you own, okay? So that's how they do that, okay? 所以它是用三样东西 ，right？ 这个点从哪里到哪里 ，OK？ 这个距离跟这个方向 ，OK？ 这三个点，之后的话，它就是有这个方向的话，只是不需要，但是你有的话就比较准确了 ，OK？ So the most important are your bounds and your distance. Okay, if you tell them where it is, the direction is naturally there, inherent, right? But they also specify the direction. Okay. All right. So let me put this up here. Maybe down here. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, down there is better. Okay. So sections and township. This is second way of doing it. Okay. Identify land by sections and township arrived upon by dividing the state into baseline and meridians. Okay, it's the government's fancy way of, using the grid pattern, right? So you know where it belongs to. Okay，所以呢，这个政府这种东西呢，就是一块块地，right？他们已经弄好了，right？你这个地皮在哪一个范围，它的知道，OK？ So the three starting points in California is Northern California is Humboldt baseline, okay? Central California is Mount Diablo. Southern California is San Bernardino, right here, okay? In San Bernardino County, okay? 所以我们有三个点 ，OK？ 北加州叫 Humboldt，OK？ 中加州 Mount Diablo， 南加州 San Bernardino。Alright, so looking at this map, okay, the Humboldt baseline is right here. This is the point, okay? That's for Northern California, okay? Mount Diablo right here. That's the mid or central. Okay, and then here, San Bernardino, that's the south. Okay, so basically from this point here, right, they have, sections, and if you land for in here, so they know you're on that grid, right? This is where your land is. Okay, that's how to describe it. Okay, most people, they don't use this, right? But for the military, for the government, it's easier for them to identify where your land is. Okay, baseline run east and west. Okay, this is baseline. Okay, so this is baseline. Okay, meridian lines runs north and south. Okay, so this is meridian. For here, meridian there, and meridian there. Okay, meridian 的话，它就是南北方向的。OK，baseline 就是东西的方向。Okay, and they gridded out 6 miles. Okay, they call it ranges. Okay, for the baseline, and they call it tiers. Right, tiers is north, up and down. Right, up. Okay, it's called tiers, and each one is 6 miles. Okay, and then ranges goes this way. It's also 6 miles segment. Ranges. Okay, so that's how they do that, right? And the tiers, they're an increment of 6 miles, so they use the township lines. Okay, each township is 6 by 6, so the grid in here, right? Each grid in here is 6 miles by 6 miles. Okay, so that's a section. Okay, I mean that's a township. Okay, section is 1 mile square. Okay, right. So let's go into detail. Okay， 所以呢，东西的方向的话，right， 它分隔，right， 6个英里一格，这个叫 ranges。OK， 南北边的话，right， 它分配的是tiers， 也是6 mile。OK， 6个英里，南北方向。OK。Okay, so a township, right? Let's say a township is 6 by 6, and then you have 36 sections in there. Okay, and the number sequence start at the upper right hand corner, right? We're gonna show you how it's numbered. Okay, tiers and ranges, right? So you can see here, as I drew before, right? These are tiers. Okay, and these are 6 miles. 6 miles. Okay, ranges also, right? 6 miles, 6 miles, 6 miles. Okay, so let's say this is the midpoint. Okay, so this square here, right, is 6 by 6. This is called a township. 一个小镇，6英里长，6英里的小镇。So 6 miles by 6 miles. So to zoom in, you're gonna have this is one section, and they count like this. Okay, zigzag. Okay, 1 through 6, 7. You say, why not 7 here? Okay, good question, right? 所以我们数怎么数呢？一个方块就是1到6来7，为什么它长7？不是从这边开始7吗？Right? They do that because they're lazy. They don't want to walk too much back here. Right? They continue counting, right? They zigzag counting. That's why, okay? 他们懒嘛 ，right？ 所以他们跑来跑去 ，right？ 他就继续数下去，6，然后7、8、9，然后12、13 ，right？ 这样就数 ，OK？And it's kind of confusing because in a section in this township here, right? Okay. You could basically say the northwest quarter, right? So it's this here, right? And then you could go to a different quarter, right? Northeast quarter of the northeast quarter. So it's this quarter here. Okay? And then if you say northeast quarter, right? 3 northeast. So you're talking about this quarter here. Okay? It's kind of confusing, but you got the idea, right? 所以你看，它这个是西北角 ，OK？ 西北角1/4的角 ，OK？ 然后怎么形容这个呢？它是东北的东北，就是这个 ，OK？ 因为它是东北的东北 ，OK？ 3个东北，这是这一块 ，OK？ You get the idea, all right? So alright, so the third way to describe your land, right? 第三个方式去形容你的地皮，这是一片地，你的街道，你的地皮 ，okay? So it describes property according to an engineer's map, okay, which is approved by Department of Real Estate and your local city, county, and then is recorded in the book. The subdivision map is also referred to the final subdivision map. Okay, so you have 3 things in there. The tract, okay, 这个一片那个地 okay, it's usually a name, okay, name assigned to individual subdivision map. It could be a number, okay. In the past, it's usually a word or phrase. Okay. 这个一片地，这个以前它有街名的 ，OK， 这个不是街名，这是这片地的名称。现在它用号码来代替 ，OK。So tract number, right? They call it tract number. And then the block, individual number section of a tract separated by roads. 街道 right, by street. Well, what street? What's the block number? Street number. And then the lot itself. Okay? Individual number section of the block. So let's take a quick look. Okay, 我们看看 OK， 你这个地皮号码 OK， your lot number. So it looks something like this. Okay, so they call it the Short Line Beach Subdivision number 2. Okay, and that's the track, right? That's the track. Okay, and then the block 21. So this is the block. 刚才我们说这个 tract 就是这个名称 Short Line Beach Subdivision number 2 OK 街名这是21号街道 OK and then 22 lot 22 lot number 22 block 21 okay so that's how they know right you are here okay this is your lot And then it says here, right? Lot 22, right? They reverse the order, right? 地皮22号 right 接到21在这一片地，名称叫 Shortline Beach Subdivision Number 2. As per map recorded in Book 4, page 42. In what? County of Los Angeles. Okay? So that's how they do that. Alright? Okay? 你的地皮号码、街道号码跟这片地的名称还是号码 ，OK， you know 在哪本书 ，you know 在哪一页，在哪个 county 记录下来的。So you have all three ways of, you know, 1, 2, and 3 ways to describe your land, right? 你有1、2、3种方式来形容你的地皮 ，OK？ Now some numbers you must remember, OK？ 有些数字你要记住。An acre, OK？ 一个英亩 is 43,560. Okay? Forget about the square yards, okay? You don't need to know that, okay? So how do I memorize this crazy number here, okay? Very simple, okay? I know acre, right, is about 200 feet times 200 feet, okay? It's roughly about 40,000, okay? Remember that, okay? 一个英亩大概是200次乘200次，这4万方尺 ，okay? And since you have an idea that it is like this, but this number sequence is tough to memorize, right? So I just remember it's 3, 4, 5, 6, add a 0. And then I invert the first 2 digits, so it's 43560. Okay, that's how I memorize it. Okay, you have other methods, use it. Okay. 因为你可以记住这个号码的话，43560的话 ，OK， 是用这个方式来记住 ，OK， 很简单，大概你知道是4万方尺，你就可以记忆力就知道了 ，OK。So square acre is actually 208.7, right? 209 times 209, right? That's a lot more accurate, right? So 209 times 209 is a little bit over, right? 4, if you use this, it will be 43681. If you use 108 times 108, 208 times 208, that's a little bit closer, right? 108 square, 43,264. Okay, but if you're gonna memorize this number exactly, right? 208.71 times 208.71, right? You round up to, you know, 43,559.86, right? So if you bother yourself to memorize this number, right, you might as well memorize this number, right, the 4-digit number, and then add a 0, okay? But, you know, many ways to memorize this crazy number, right? 有很多方式去记下来这个数字了 ，OK？ 所以你看你用哪一个就 OK 了。So square acre, right？ 一个方的英亩 ，OK？ 它大概是209乘209 ，OK？A mile 一个英里 is 5,280 feet long, OK？ 5280尺长 Okay, so you have to know this. Okay, you have to know roughly about that. 209, right? And then 1 mile is 5280 feet long. Okay, a square mile contains what? 640 acres. Okay, a square mile is also equal a section. These two are tied together. Okay, 1 mile square, right? It's also 640 acres. Okay， 一块，这个一块 ，right？ 一块地 ，right？ 这是一方英里，这是里面有640个英亩。Okay，a township, right, is 6 miles square, so 36 square miles. Okay, so a township, right, has 36 sections. Okay， 一个小镇有36块。对，方块什么？一方里的面积。Okay, and when they talk about commercial acre, is whatever the square footage in an acre minus streets. Okay, and parks and whatever. Okay, so you look at here, a rod is what, 16.5 feet long, right? 4 rods is equal to 1 chain, right? And 320 rods to a mile, right? Okay, you don't need to memorize this. Okay, they will not test you on this. Believe me, okay? Because that's not being used today. They just use feet and meters. Alright， 所以它另外的距离量距离的话 ，OK， 很久以前用的这个 rod and chain，OK， 现在都不用了 ，OK， 所以你有兴趣的话，你可以读一读 ，OK， 但是你不需要 ，OK， 它不会考你的，用不上 ，OK。Alright, so all of these, right, the reference table, you have to know, right? Memorize them by heart, right? 这个有记住，很重要 ，okay? And then doing the math, right? Doing the math. Okay, an acre, right? Remember last week I told you, right? Some questions, right? They tell you the answer right there. An acre, it contains 43,560 square feet, right? And then they give you a question, right? How many acres is a parcel of land that measures 330 feet and 660 feet? Okay? 他问你 ，OK？ 这块地多少英亩 ？OK？ 它是330尺乘660尺。So it's very easy, right? You know to calculate the area, right? It's 330 by 660 feet. So it's 217,800 feet, square feet. Okay? And it says note here, right? If you know how many square feet is an acre, you divide that into, okay, 217,800. You get roughly about 5 acres. Okay? 所以你330乘660，哎，21,700方尺 ，OK， 你除一个英亩的方尺 ，OK， 43,560方尺，你大概可以出来是5个英亩 ，OK。Now, example number 2, right? If an acre is divided into 4 equal lots, right? Let's say an acre. 4 equal lots, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All equal, right? with each lot placed parallel to the other, right? Parallel, so they are parallel. Okay, and having a depth of 240 feet. 深度 right 它的排长形的排 OK 都是一样的 OK 深度是240尺 OK What is the width of each lot OK 他就问你每一个地皮里面的宽度是什么 OK First you have to know right what this is first right Okay So an acre right the whole thing is what 43 56 0 right so you basically divide this into here 240 to get this right so this now is divided by 4 okay and it's equal to 45 feet and 4.4 feet okay if we do the math see chapter 15 for more problems right okay so that's how you do that right 所以呢它长一个英亩 OK 它分开4个地皮 OK 每个地皮都是一样 OK 所以一排一排的 OK 然后它深度是240所以呢一个英亩是43560方尺你除个240尺深 OK 你有这个数值出来你把它除个4 OK 那变为45尺 45.4 尺 OK That's the answer Okay, everybody have that, right? It's 5th grade math, okay? 这个5年级的数字的 okay? Alright, so we end with chapter 1, okay? And we'll come back after a break. We'll come back about 10 minutes, okay? 11:35, okay? So, okay, we break. Oops. 11:35 a.m. Okay, so let me put on the whiteboard. And I prioritize. Break till 11:35. Oh, got the time messed up here. Break till 10:35. Okay, we are back. Okay, let's move on to chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2, we talk about estate transfers and titles. 对，这样子的话，我们这讲你的房产怎么去转让，加上呢你的产权，OK， estate ownership，OK， 你的房产，OK。So estate we'll talk about ownership, OK， 就是你的财产 ，OK， 你的不动产的财产 ，OK。What is an estate? Okay, so the interest, share, right, or equity in real estate. Okay， 就是你有权利，你有股份 ，OK， 你有这个升级的部分 ，OK， 在这个不动产里面 ，OK，that vary from the minimal right of a renter，OK， 它包括租客的权利 to the full maximum right of a full owner，OK， 到最多的权利就是屋主了 ，OK，so basically that's estate，OK。So looking at this, what we call a freehold estate, all right, is the highest and maximum rights that you have. Okay, freehold 这个名称 ，okay, is your maximum rights in real property. Okay, so freehold estates are the greatest degree of ownership you can have under the law. Okay, so freehold estate. And they separate into two categories, right? 它分开两类的 ，OK。Estate in fee, okay, they call it the fee simple absolute. Okay, this is the same thing as freehold. Okay， 这个名称 fee simple absolute 等于 freehold 一样。Okay， 这是最高的、最多的权利。And when you call this a qualified, defeasible, okay, it has conditions and limitation. Okay， 因为你说 fee simple defeasible， okay, fee simple defeasible 的话 ，right， 它有条件的在里面，加上有限制。Okay, and then on the other end you have the life estate. Okay, and then um, take it back. Okay, when the grantee life expire, then you go back to the grantor, right? And then the estate in remainder is just pass on to the heirs. Okay, so we're gonna look at this in details. OK， 这个就是靠人家的生命 OK 判断他有多久的权利在里面。OK， 等下我们看看内容。Let me bring it back up. See. Alright, estate in fee. Okay, whenever you see the word fee or freehold, okay, it's the highest, most rights that one can have in a real estate. Okay, so owner holds all rights for unlimited period. 没有时间段的 ，OK， 他所有的权利就是在他手上。Condition that restrict a fee estate is called fee simple defeasible. Okay, remember defeasible. It could be before or it could be after. Condition precedent and condition subsequent. Okay. Many things, they could put on a condition. Okay. A fee simple determinable estate is determined the duration of the estate by the deed itself. Okay, so some are time sensitive as well. Okay, 这个有时间段的。Okay, give you a good example. Okay, the grandfather, deeds the property to the grandson, right? Okay, two things must happen, right? A couple of things, right? Grandson must be 25, and he must be married and with 2 kids. Okay, so those are 3 conditions met, and then the house will be the grandson's. Okay, that's one example of condition precedent. Okay, before it will happen, before they give the transfer. Okay, after the transfer, right? Let's say they have all of that, right? So he must maintain married, right? Okay, if we divorce, right, then it goes back, right? Okay, if one of the kids died, right, he only 1 kid, right, it also go back to the grandpa, right? So these are conditions subsequent. Alright, so you could make any conditions you want, okay? 所以呢，爷爷给孙子 ，OK， 一栋房子，他有条件的 ，OK， 这个 before it happened， OK， 他是25岁，结婚，2个小孩 ，OK， 没有说男女 ，OK， 小孩。所以呢，他拿到之后呢 ，right， 后面的条件是什么呢 ？OK， 他一定要继续这个不离婚 ，OK， 一个孩子走掉的话 ，right， 他也是把这个房子回到爷爷手上 ，OK， 这样子的话就是叫 condition subsequence，OK， 你拿到房子之后还有条件的 ，OK， 所以呢，这个很窍门的 ，OK， 所以你看你怎么去写这些条件。So you could control a piece of property by this type of defeasible conditions, okay? Alright, life estate indefinite period. This is something different, okay? So interest in real property for the length of the designated person's life. Okay, so the grantee's life. OK，你授权这个房子给别人，别人的寿命有关的。OK，他活了就是他的，他不活了就回到这个以前的屋主的手里。OK， so they could do everything, right? They could live in it, they could rent it, lease it, but they have to keep the property in good repair. Okay, they don't destroy the property and pay all the costs, taxes to maintain the property. So if the grantor holds an estate in reversion, the property will return to the grantor, right? 就是回到他手上，如果他被授权那个人他死了。Okay. Upon death of designated person, life tenant loses ownership interest. Okay. Anything that he did with that property is nullified. Okay. Upon his death. 他不管他利用那个地皮做什么东西、什么协议 ，OK， 他一死亡的时候，所有的协议他操作的没有效。Owners go to another life tenant estate in remainder， 因为他可以传到他子女的话就继续，这种呢就叫 estate in remainder。OK， 省下来还是给他 ，OK， 不收回去 ，OK。All right, less than freehold estate. What does it mean by less than freehold? So less than freehold. That means it's not freehold, right? Okay. 小于 freehold 的 ，OK， 这是租客嘛 ，right? So renters, right? So the right to use real property for a period of time, right? Okay, first thing, very important. Okay, let's stay for years. Okay, this is a little bit confusing. Lease for any fixed period of time. That's what they call years. Okay, not 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, right? No. Okay, stay for year is for period of time. It could be a couple hours, couple days, couple months, or years. Okay, remember that. Okay， 它的名称 stay for years 不是1年、2年、3年这样子。OK， 这个单词 years, right? Stay for years 就是一段时间。OK， 几个钟头、2、3天、几个月、几年都是 stay for years. So they're gonna have a trick question for you, right? The following are stay for years, right? They're gonna say 2 hours, 2 days, 2 months, and every 2 hours or every hour, right? So except, right? The exception is every hour. Okay? 他会问你一个问题 right? Stay for years 是 OK 2个钟头、2天、2个月，然后最后这个他说每一天 OK 每个钟头 right？ 所以不是这个答案就是每一天还是每个钟头，这个不是 OK。 Alright, here comes the next one, right? Let's stay from period to period. That's repeatable. Okay, that's like every hour, every day, right? Every week. Okay, so it's usually month to month or weekly, week to week. Okay, renewable agreement to rent or lease a property from a period to a period. Okay， 就是重复一段时间的，每个星期、每一个月，大部分是这样子。OK， 如果是 hotel，if it's a hotel, it's daily, right? Every day. 如果是酒店的话，是每一天。Okay, so stay at will is what? Rental agreement for indefinite period of time. Okay, there's no end date, but either party could give 30-day notice to terminate. ，stay a will 这个意思是有协议，但是它没有结束这一天，OK， 所以一方可以停掉，就是给另外一方30天的讯付，OK。Stay a sufferance or tenancy a sufferance, right? Lessee tenant will not vacate after term of the stay has run out. So it expired already and it's still the tenant still is there, right? So it's called a stay a sufferance or tenancy a sufferance. OK， 这个租约已经停掉了 ，OK， 到期了，但是房客还住的在里面，这个名称叫 stay a sufferance 和 tenancy a sufferance。OK。Alright, acquisition and transfers, right? 怎么去买房子，怎么去转让房子。Transfer, right? Many ways to do a transfer, right? 怎么去转让 ？Any changeover, okay, in ownership of the property, okay? 你加名字，转名字等等，都是转让 ，OK？Acquisition means acquire, to buy or pull in. Acquisition 这个单词就是买回来 ，OK， 收回来 ，OK， 拿到这个房子。While alienation 另外单词 means to transfer, sell or push away. Alienation 这个单词就是转让出去、卖出去、不要了、推出去 ，OK， 推掉了。So there are 7 basic ways to transfer real property. 有7种方式来转让房产、不动产 ，OK。Through a deed, OK， 这个产权书 ，OK。Will 遗嘱 ，probate 审判 ，interstate succession, OK， 州政府没收 ，accession, OK， 加泥土、加地等等 ，OK。Occupancy 这是关于租客的 ，OK。Dedication 礼物。Occupancy is on rentals, okay. Okay, first thing we'll talk about is transfer by deed. Okay. Typically it's called a grant deed. Okay. Transfer full title using the word grant. Okay. 这个是产权书转让给别人 OK. 这个它里面有个动词叫 grant 给 OK. Includes the implied warranties that owner has not conveyed title to anyone else, OK？ 他就证明他没有给别人的产权书 ，OK？Property is free of encumbrances other than those disclosed。他没有干扰的，没有债务 ，OK？After acquired rights, any obtained after the sales are retroactively transferred. OK， 所有东西都转给这个新的屋主。OK，Grantor is the person who grants the property or property rights, the seller. OK， 卖主就叫 grantor，right？ 他给出去这个产权。Grantee is the person whom the grant is made, called a buyer. Grantee 就是买主，他接受这个产权 OK。Quit claim 这是放弃 OK。Convey only the rights that person may hold. Okay, it guarantees nothing. It just say this is not my property, okay? Can convey any rights the grantor may have, and it clears up the cloud of the title, right? 那它模糊的话 ，right？ 夫妻两个不知道这房是他们两个还是单独一个人的 ，OK？ 所以这个姓名是单独一个人的 ，OK？ So quiet title action is also done, okay? So it's a court proceeding to remove a cloud title to real estate. So quit claim deed, nowadays they also call it inter-spousal deed transfer. OK， 另外的名称 OK， 夫妻机关的话 ，right， 这是 interspousal，OK， 这是配偶之间的产权转让 ，OK。Subtypes of deeds. Okay, pay attention here. Okay, very important. 有很多种产权的 ，OK， 所以这个你要记住，还要小心一点 ，OK。Okay, especially with this trustee deed, okay. What do we have? We have gift deed, right? 礼物的产权 granted as a gift of love and affection. No other consideration is necessary, but is void if given to defraud creditors. OK， 这个就是礼物嘛 ，OK， 没有收钱的 ，OK， 但是你不可以用这种来诈骗这个银行 ，OK， 你拿贷款等等 ，OK。Tax deed is given to the property sold as payment of past due property taxes. OK， 你欠房地产税的话 ，right？ 你被拍卖 ，right？ 这个买主拿到的就是 tax deed。The buyer will get a tax deed from the tax collector. Okay, administrator or executor's deed. Okay, given to purchaser of a deceased person's real property under probate. Okay. 审判的产权 ，OK， 它有两个名称 ，administrator deed 就是法庭判断的 ，OK，executor 就是家人判断出来的 ，OK， 家人操作的 ，OK。Alright, sheriff's deed is granted to purchaser of a court order sale, OK， 这个呢，警察的产权，什么意思呢？就是你打官司输了 ，right？ 对方要求拍卖你的房子来赔偿，因为你没有钱 ，OK？ 这种产权的话，这是警察的产权 ，OK？ 他用法庭的权利 ，right？ 来拍卖你的房子，给买主这个警察的产权。Next one, trustee deed given to purchaser of property at a trustee foreclosure sale. OK， 这是拍卖物的产权证。OK， 敲作人的产权给你了。OK，so talking about this, okay, there's another word called a trustee. Or they call it deed of trust. Okay, very, very important. Okay, now do not get yourself confused with trustee deed. Okay， 另外的名称叫 trustee 和 deed of trust。这个单词不等于这个 trustee deed， 这个你要记住，很重要。OK， they look the same， 它看起来是一样的东西。Okay, but a real deed is trustee's deed， 正规的、合法的产权证。Okay， 这是 trustee deed。Okay， 拍卖敲作人的产权证。Okay. On the other hand, trust deed and deed of trust is not a deed. It's a collateral. Okay, this is not a deed. 这个 trust deed 跟 deed of trust， 它不是一个产权证，它是一个抵押书。Okay， 抵押书。所以你要记住 ，OK， 这两样东西不一样的 ，OK。They will ask you a question, right? The following are deeds except， 他会问你一个问题，所有上面都是产权证，有一个不是，不是这个就是这个 trust deed and deed of trust. The one that does not belong as a category of deeds is trust deed and deed of trust. Okay, they will give you gift deed, tax deed, sheriff's deed or trustee's deed, right? And then they stick on there, letter C, right? Trust deed. Right? Trust deed is not a deed. So that's the correct answer. That's the exception. Okay? 所以呢，他问你，所有上面都是产权证，只有一个不是。Okay? 不是产权就是 trust deed. 这个要记住。Okay, to continue. Guardian deed is used by a guardian to transfer the real property of minors or incompetents. OK， 这是小孩嘛，18岁以上还是脑子不清的老人家。OK， 这是用 guardian deed。OK， 监护人的产权。OK， 这是给小孩跟脑子问题的大人。OK，land patent is used by government to grant public land to individual. 这是政府用这种产权给私人一块地。Okay. Okay, so here on the screen, you're looking at two types of deed. Okay, this is a grand deed. This is a quitclaim deed. Okay, so this section here identifies, okay, the land or the property. Okay, in here the name of the grantor. Okay, 给产权的人名 grantor. Okay, and then name of grantees. Okay, 接受产权的人 grantee. And then they have to sign. And this section here is the notary. Okay, this is notary. 这个呢，这是 grantor signature. This is grantor signature. OK， 这个是给出去产权的人的签名。OK， 那上面的公证去处理的。OK。Now remember, you have to record this. 你要登记这个 in the county where the property is. OK， 你要登记在哪里呢？哪个 county 政府呢？就是房产这个在哪里的哪个 county 你就去哪个 county 去登记。Don't record it, your Rancho Cucamonga San Bernardino property in Los Angeles County. Okay, that's the wrong filing. Okay， 如果你这一边东区的房子，你在洛杉矶这个 county 去登记的话，就错误了。 All right, a valid deed must have what? Okay. 正规的 right 有效的产权需要什么东西 ？It must be in writing。当然呢，又写出来了 ，OK， 白纸黑字 ，OK， white paper with written black letters, right? Number 2, properly describe the property, the parties, OK， 两方又姓名谁是谁 ，OK，the grantee and the grantor。OK， 受访产权的人还是给访产权的人 ，OK， 两个名称又写上去 ，OK， they skip C。Adequate describe property， OK， 什么房楼 ，OK， what are we granting， OK， D。It contains a granting clause, action clause. The word grant. 这个动词 grant 给 right 和转让 right 给你 okay and be signed by the grantor. Okay, grantor 有签字的 grantee don't have to sign. They just have to accept. Okay, grantee 受产权这个人不需要签字，给产权都有签字。So these 5 things, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to have a valid deed. Okay, 5样东西都要齐全 ，OK， 就有效的产权了 ，OK。Delivery 怎么去送这个产权呢 ？Property is not transferred until deed is delivered with the intent of passing title. OK， 有意思去转让给别人了，你又收到了 ，OK。Manual delivery， OK， 手送的 ，direct transfer from grantor to grantee, hand delivered, right? Number 2, deliver through recording, right? 你登记转让给他 ，right? Putting title in the grantee's name in the county record, okay? So that piece of paper that we saw before, right? Recorded, okay? Or conditional delivery, a specific event must occur before the deed is delivered manually. OK， 它有条件的话 ，OK， 就等待条件符合，它就送过去。OK， 这个不可以 record 哦 ，OK。You cannot just record the conditional delivery, okay? It has to be hand delivery. Or when all conditions are met, then you do the recording that way too, okay? 所以所有的条件里面符合之后，你就可以送 ，OK， 这个产权。Right, here's what they will tell you. I told you before, right? The word trustee is not a deed, okay? Trustee 这个单词 ，OK， 不是一个产权证书 ，OK？ Rather, a conveyance. It gives bare legal title to the trustee with the power to sell. So it's a collateral. OK， 这个纸张叫 trustee， 他给一个敲作人 ，OK， 权利去拍卖你的房子，如果你不付这个贷款 ，OK， 所以呢，这个是一个抵押书。So in California, since trust deeds are loaned to finance homes, the word deed can cause confusion. OK， 所以它里面有这个单词 deed，OK， 会模糊了 ，OK， 会 confuse 你 ，OK。So trust deed is not a deed. Remember that, OK? Trust deed 不是一个产权证 ，OK？ 记住。Okay, next type of transfer, transfer by will or testy. 用遗嘱来转让 ，OK？ A will is a document created by a person stating how that person's property is to be conveyed after his or her death. OK， 这是遗嘱 ，OK， 他姓名怎么去分配他们那个财产，加上不动产。Many types, OK? Witness will is the typical, right? Atypical type, usually prepared by attorney, dated, signed by property owner, declared authentic by at least 2 witnesses, so 3 signatures total. OK， 有证人的遗嘱 ，OK 是打印出来的，大部分呢这是律师操作的 ，OK 有日期，然后呢这个作者有签字 ，OK， 然后有2个公证人的签字，总共有3人签字。Okay， 另外一种 other type holographic will. This is also more common. Okay, 50% is handwritten, entirely handwritten, dated and signed. 手写的，有日期，然后他签字。Many times they could not find these holographic will because they hide it, right? They hide it in books, drawers, chests, safe deposit boxes, etc. 很多这种遗嘱的话，手写的 ，OK， 都是藏起来的 ，OK， 扎了在书里面，放到保险箱里面等等 ，OK。How do you change a will, right? It's called doctorship. So it's a change in the will before the maker's death. Okay, that's why it's very important that you date all these, okay? So they know which one is which, right? Is this after or before or they change their mind, right? Doctorship, okay? 这个单词呢，这是改的遗嘱 ，OK？ 他没有死之前可以改的 ，OK？ 最好的话，他有日期在里面，就知道他什么时候改的 ，OK？ 他改来改去的话，最后这个是有效，明白吗 ？Okay, so the last dated doctorship is the final version, which is effective. So that's why when they go through probate, right, they have to understand and know all of the doctorships that is in the possession, right? All right, another way to do it is revocable living trust. Right, 就是家庭信托嘛 right? So it is a trust that is effective during the life of the owner rather than upon his or her death. It can eliminate probate and serve the same function as a will and may reduce excise taxes. See an attorney. Okay? Don't go telling everybody to get a trust, right? Tell them to get it through a lawyer so they could explain it better, right? Or CPA. Okay? So our license does not let us to help your clientele. Okay? You're not the professional. You don't have the license to do that. Okay? So don't tell them how to do the trust. Right? Tell them to find your lawyer, find your CPA. They will tell you. Okay? 这种家庭信托的话，最好是通过一个律师还是他们会计师来操作。Okay? 你的 license 没有权利告诉任何人怎么去操作。Okay? 如果你那跟你这样去做的话，这样有问题的话，他会找你麻烦。Okay? 所以这个 顺托的话就比遗嘱好很多了，OK，它什么都在里面处理分配，right，然后就不用审判，也可能可以省一点税的，OK。Right, transfer by probate. Okay, that's the next type, superior court approval, right? 由法庭通过的，OK，判断、审判，OK，叫 probate is a superior court procedure to determine the will's validity，OK，那看看你这个遗嘱是不是真还是假，还是有手找，做手找，right？Any creditor's claim and establish the identity of rightful beneficiary. OK，他受益人又清楚，OK。So if it's done by the family, guy is called executor, right? The female lady is called executrix. It's named in the will typically. Okay, so and so will help me finish the will, execute the will. Okay，他遗嘱里面大部分的姓名一个人去操作的，帮他操作。Okay，administrator male or administratress female is appointed by the court. Okay, if they don't mention what it is, then the court will appoint someone to do it, and their name is called administrator or administratress. 如果没有操作人的话，right，法庭就指挥一个人去操作，right，男的叫 administrator，女的叫 administratress。Alright, transfer by interstate succession, no will. OK，如果没有遗嘱的话，right，怎么去处理？OK，separate property is divided. Okay, equally between surviving spouse and one child. Okay, if it's the spouse and one kid, right, it's one half, one half. Okay, and then 1/3 to the spouse and 2/3 to be divided equally among 2 or more children. 2 plus. Okay, so then you got spouse, and then you have kid, 1, 2, 3, ... Okay, in this case, the spouse gets 1/3, and the kids will share the 2/3 divided by n. How many kids there are? Okay, if it's 2 kids, right, then they each get 1/3, right? If it's 2 kids. If it's 3 kids, right, 2/3 divided by 3, okay, so it's basically times 3 divided by, so 6 divided by 3, how does it work? Okay, so 2/3 times 1/3, okay, divided by 3, right? So it becomes 2 nines. Each one gets 2 nines. The 3 kids, right? Each of the 3 kids gets 2 nines. So 2 divided by 9 is 22%. Okay, 22% times 3 is 66%, right? Add the mom's or the dad's 1/3, 0.3333, that equals to 1, okay? Etc. Okay? And so on and so on, okay? But 2/3 of it is shared by all kids equally. 1/3 goes to the spouse. Okay, with more than 2 kids. Okay, 2 kids or more. Okay, 1 kid just split 50-50. Okay, if there's no heir, 没有后人的话怎么办? The property reverts to the state of California through the legal procedure called escheat. 没有后人的话，没有遗嘱的话 ，OK， 州政府，加州政府就是没收这个房子了，是属于州政府的了 ，OK。Alright, transfer by accession, natural causes. OK， 这个地增扎 OK Excuse me. Accession is the addition of piece of land through forces of nature, natural growth, by wave. Okay, you saw this. Okay, water pushing it through, right? So addition of fixtures or improvement make to the property in error. I mean, you could put fixtures and stuff, right? For example, a restaurant, they put all these nice fixtures, and then the company went belly up, and they just leave all the equipment there. So the landlord gets all these, tables, chairs, ovens, etc. Right? So it's called accession. 譬如说一个餐厅 ，right？ 他生意不好，他垮了，他什么都不要了 ，OK？ 所以这个屋主呢，哎，这个房东就有的是家具啊，设备等等，这个叫 accession。还是他自然的浪冲那个泥土，把你这个地增扎，也是一种 accession。Okay, accretion is moving water, adding land to a parcel. These deposits are called alluvium. Okay, all these are called alluvium. Okay, 泥土这个单词叫 alluvium， 动词呢就叫 accretion。反过来说的话 the opposite is true, avulsion. Okay, real property is being lost because land is torn away by action of moving water. Okay, so let's say you have a piece of land here. Okay, the wave go crashing and it break off this part. Okay, this is called avulsion. Okay, 这个大浪，大的浪冲浪 ，OK， 把你这块地打破了，冲破了 ，OK， 这个动词叫 avulsion。OK， 崩溃了 ，OK， 你的地崩溃下来 ，OK， 小了，那个地小了。Alright, encroachment 敲线。What is it? It's when improvement and permanent fixtures are placed on a property that does not legally belong to the person who places them. 敲线了。Okay. Example. A fence built over the property line onto the neighbor's lot is a form of encroachment. Okay. Let's say this is the line, right? You build your fence this way and then it's slanted this way, right? So this portion is called encroachment. Okay, 你敲线了 ，OK？ 你扎建那个围墙 ，OK？ 你弄歪了 ，OK？ 弄得人在地皮上面。Transfer by occupancy, OK? Abandonment, OK? 这个住客放弃了 is when the relinquishing of the right or interest with the intention never again reclaiming it. Okay. Some landlord, right? They don't have rent, right? They go inside. It's empty. They all moved out, right? They had a good job in good job offer in Florida. They just fly there and leave everything empty, or they don't even want the furniture sometimes. OK， 有说呢，他空掉房子就搬走了，OK， 不管了，他有好的工作在佛州都跑了，有些连家具都不要了，OK， 他也就跑了，OK， 放弃，所以这样子转让这个房子回到这个房东的手上 ，OK。Adverse possession， 另外一种转让方式 ，OK。What is adverse possession? It is very rare, OK。很少这样子会发生的 ，OK。Acquiring title to someone else's property through continuous and notorious occupancy under the claim of title. Okay. Let's say you find an old house. It's empty. No one's there. Right? So you just move right in. Right? And live there. Right? Open and notorious occupancy. Hostile and averse, meaning you don't have to ask anyone. Okay? Uninterrupted for 5 years. Okay? Right or color of title. And you pay the property taxes for 5 years. Okay? Then you could ask the county, okay, to issue you a adverse possession. Then the house will be yours. Okay? 这种转让方式是你找到一个空房子 ，right？ 你就住着在里面，谁都不问，你就住着在里面，给不停的住了5年，也自己交税，然后之后呢，你可以要求 county 给你 title。Okay, so this is only happen if the house is all paid off, right? No mortgage, right? If there's a mortgage, the bank will come knocking on the door, right? Because the bank needs to collect, right? So typically, no mortgage, paid off, and somehow something happened to the owner, right? The old owner probably lost. They went on vacation. They lost. They just never came back, and they don't have any relatives, right, to claim it, etc. Right? But it happens, okay. Typically, if and when this happens, it's typically fraud, right? Okay. 这种情形很少了 ，OK， 除非这个房子是没有债户的 ，right， 没有贷款 ，right， 全 pay off， 然后可能屋主老人家他出去旅游等等 ，OK， 他丢了，还是他死了， right， 没有后人来处理这个房子等等，很多这种发生的话都是有一些诈骗行为 ，OK， 在里面。Alright, easement by prescription, okay? Prescription is use, okay? 让路的话 ，OK， 就是有人用就可以有让路 ，right? An easement or right to use another's land， right? 用别人的地 ，which can be obtained through 5 years of continuous use. Okay, unlike adverse possession, right? Prescription is the use of the property, not the transfer title. Okay, 产权没有转 ，OK， 但是它可以用。Owner continue to pay all taxes， 屋主还是要付税的 ，OK。用这个让地的人的话，就不需要付税，他这是用 ，OK。Transfer by dedication. Dedication is what? Gift. Okay, it could be anyone to anyone, right? Dedication is a gift appropriation of land by its owner for some public use, usually to a city or county. That's why sometimes you see there's a little park, little garden, right? They name it, Elizabeth page, right? Garden or park, right? Dedicated to the city of X, right? Can be voluntary or mandatory, right? If it's mandatory, it's eminent domain, right? OK， 所以有些县呢，它就是反过来，它给礼物给城市啊 county，right？ 所以有些小公园等等，right？ 它有这个捐出来的人的名字 ，OK？ 这个是自愿的，如果不是自愿的话，就变为反过来就是 eminent domain，right？ 这个城市呢就没收这块地，但是它要赔偿那个地主，哎，这个屋主。Alright, title, forms of ownership. Okay, so let's see how one takes title, right, to the property. 这个呢，这是产权证了 ，OK， 怎么去姓名 ，OK， 这个产权这个房产怎么去分配的 ？So title is the right to ownership of land and evidence of that ownership. Okay, land meaning real estate, 不动产。Okay, there are 6 distinct ways to hold title. 有6种方式来分配这个产权。Okay, number 1, severally, sole ownership, 单独一方。Okay, 一个人有权利。是 sole and separate ownership of property by one individual. Okay, it can be married, hold separate property, or a corporation. Okay, 单独一个配偶，男女都可以。OK， 它是自己的财产，姓名。OK， 还是一个公司的，一个信托的。OK， it could be a trust, LLC, Inc, or corporation. Okay, tenancy in common, unity of possession. Okay, it was 2 or more, 2 plus. Okay, undivided ownership by 2 or more persons. Okay, they may hold unequal interest, meaning what? It doesn't have to be 50-50, right? It could be any combination, right? It could be 40, 60, it could be 1, 99, right? If it's more than 3, right, it's 3, right? It could be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, right? That doesn't have to be equal, right? It could be 1/2, right? 1/4, 1/4, right? Or it could be, 40%, 40%, and 20%. Okay, or any combination. Okay, 所以呢，它是2个人以上的。OK， 1人1半也可以。OK， 4/6份也可以，1比99也可以。一个3个人以上的话，3个人的话，这1/3，这是 equal share。OK， 它是1半，1/4，1/4也可以。OK， 40、40、20也可以。OK， 怎么去分配都 OK。Each has unity of possession or right to occupy the property. Okay, 他们呢有权利去用那个房楼的。Okay, each may, will, right, or transfer the interest separately. 他单独分开来给他的后人、子女、遗嘱、转让都可以的。Okay, each share proportionally in the expenses and profit of the property. 盈亏就跟这个分配的比例去做。Okay, if you own 30%, right, you lose profit, you lose 30%, right? You make profit, you make 30% of the profit. Okay, 所以盈亏就跟你这个比例来分配了。Okay, dispute among owner may settle by partition action. where the court orders to sell the property and divide the assets. OK， 如果他们有纠纷在里面的话，来法庭这个法官会判断 ，OK， 我们很简单嘛，把你房子卖掉，然后分配这个钱，这个叫 partition action。OK， joint tenancy。Okay, right of survivorship. The key is survivorship. Okay, so it's 2 or more person, 2 plus. Okay, they have the same possession and the same right of survivorship. Okay, so what happens? Okay, let's say A, B, C, D. If that's the case, everybody have 25%. Right? And then what happened next? Okay, B dies. Right? A, C, and D, they each have 1/3. Okay, and then C died, right? They each A and D would have 1/2, and then D died, right? A will have 100%. That's how it goes. Okay， 如果里面有4个人都是 joint tenancy 的话 ，right？ 他们都有1/4 1/4。OK， 如果 B 死了 ，OK，A、C、D。OK， 都有1/3。OK， 然后 C 也死了 ，OK，A 跟 D 每人一半 ，D 也死了 ，A 得到所有的 100%。OK， 这样子来分配，谁活的 ，right survivorship， 谁有这个权利，但是呢，他们呢这是平分的。OK，so a deceased owner's interest is divided among the surviving owners. So they give up the ownership to the other owners. It may not be will， 它不可以在遗嘱转让给别人的。There is no need for probate. Transfer is automatic, requiring only a death certificate. 它有这个死亡证，就证明它转让给另外的partner 在里面 OK。So corporations cannot enter in joint tenancy. Okay, corporation never dies, so eventually they get 100%. So no corporation. Okay， 这种无限公司的话 ，right， 不可以用这个 joint tenancy， 因为它寿命是永远性的 ，OK， 所以它永远可以拿到 100%， 所以不给这类的公司用这个 joint tenancy。Okay, all owners have the 4 things in common, right? They all have the title, same time, right? Equal interest and possession all have equal rights to use. Okay, 他们都可以用上那个房产。Alright, tenancy in partnership. This is very similar to tenancy in common, except this is for business, right? Partnership for business. OK， 这个名称就跟那个 tenancy in common 一样，但是它 partnership 就是商业性的 ，OK， 这是做生意用的。2 or more persons who are co-owners of a business. Each partner has equal rights of possession. When partner dies, his interest passes to the heir, right? 他给他的后人。General partnership, they have to share the management responsibility. Limited partnership, okay, only limit the loss to the partner's investment. 他投多少的亏损，您亏多少 ，OK。一个 general partnership 的话，它有全赔的 ，OK， 它没有限制的。Alright, community property. OK， 这个共同的财产 ，OK。All property acquired by a married couple during marriage is community property. So in the state of California, right，在加州里面的话 ，right， 如果他结婚的，都认为是共同的财产 ，OK。So real estate contract should be signed by both husband and wife. OK， 一个买卖协议等等的话，两方有签的 ，right？ 先生跟太太都有签的。Any property obtained by either husband or wife prior to the marriage may remain as separate property. OK， 他没有结婚之前有这个房产的话 ，OK， 他可以继续，哎，就是他自己的房产 ，OK。The community estate is liable for all debts incurred by either spouse occurred before or during the marriage. Notice before or during the marriage. Okay, so if you get married to a man or lady who owe a lot of credit card debt before, okay, you inherit that debt also. Okay, community property estate 的话 ，OK， 先生跟太太以前的债户 ，OK， 还是另外配偶的债户 ，OK， 他的接受这个以前的债户的 ，OK， 他有责任的，所以要搞清楚 ，OK， 当然了，你结婚的时间段 ，OK， 也是代价的 ，OK， 这个债户。Alright, community property continued. Where surviving spouse, right, inherits property unless will to an heir. Okay, so if they have a will, right, it goes somewhere else, right, to their kids, right. But if they don't, right, the other spouse will get it. Wages earned by either spouse during marriage are considered communal property. Okay, 他们结婚共同的工资赚到的工资那是代价的 ，OK。Do not advise the buyer on how to hold title. This is legal advice. OK， 你不可能告诉你的客人 ，OK， 怎么去 hold title，OK， 怎么去用上这个产权 ，OK。你讲错的话，他用错的话，他就赖你了 ，OK， 他会告你 ，OK， 等等。So don't advise your buyer, right, how to hold title, because it will come back around to get you if it doesn't work out, okay? Leave it to the lawyers and the CPAs, okay? Community property was right of survivorship, okay? You could add on the joint tenancy element, okay? Transfer ownership to the spouse at death with income tax benefit, okay? 一个配偶死亡之后，马上就归另外的配偶了 ，OK？ Probate not necessary， 不用通过审判。Step up basis for 100% of the property， 但是税这方面的话 ，right 就增加到这个市场价位 ，OK？ Alright, recording and acknowledgement. Okay, 登记跟这个公证 okay? So recording, right? The legal process of making an instrument an official part of the record in the county, okay? You have to record it properly in a timely fashion. Okay, recording provides a constructive notice of the transaction. It is assumed to be public knowledge as opposed to actual notice, which are facts known only to the individual. Okay, if you don't record it, it's not public knowledge. Okay, once you record it, it's public knowledge. 所以，你登记的话 ，right， 所有的人都可以知道的。OK， 他调查都知道了。OK， 因为你没有登记的话，你私人交易的话 ，right， 人家都不知道。 Okay. Documents that have to be recorded to be valid. Mechanic lien and declaration of homestead. Right. 两样东西有效的话 ，OK， 你必须要有登记 ，OK， 譬如说人家你是装修公司，人家不付你钱 ，OK， 你可以押别人的房子，用这个 mechanic lien。另外的话，就是巡捕自己的房子是个 homestead，OK， 有一些保护 ，OK， 就是被告这是一点点的保护了 ，OK。Alright, priority of recording, okay, very important, right? 这个顺序，你怎么去登记？你排第一就是有效 ，okay? Protects the buyer against subsequent claims against the property. First in time is the first in right. Okay, full exception to the priority recording. Okay, 有一些不是你信做信得的 ，OK。Government liens and special assessment, right? 永远这个政府的OK 抵押跟税 OK actual notice of another person's prior rights OK 一个其他人比你先 mechanic lien right 刚才我们说了 OK 你没有付有纠纷不付装修公司的他可以压你房子 OK 这种也是要付清的 OK agreement to the contrary 一个人有别的协议 OK so let's say seller right sell to buyer 1 2 and 3 okay seller defraud all of them right they all pay him money okay but buyer number 3 they recorded first so the house is for number 3 okay and let's say buyer 2 right they moved in right they occupy okay but this could evict them out because they're the proper owner, right? And then 1, they did not record, no record, so he's out of the picture. Okay, or his dirt to record. Okay， 所以呢，同一个屋主 ，OK， 他卖的房子 ，OK， 同一个房子卖给3个人 ，OK， 第3个人他第一个去登记，所以房子是属于他的。第二个呢，他就没有登记，他就搬进去 ，OK， 所以第三者 ，OK， 这个第三个可以赶他走 ，OK， 第一个他没有登记就什么都没有 ，OK。Acknowledgement, what is acknowledgement? Notary, right? OK， 这是公证 ，OK。Refer to a sign or verbal statement by the named person that he has signed that document of his own free will. OK， 他自愿签这个文件 ，OK。A deed does not have to be acknowledged to be valid, but must be acknowledged to be recorded. What does that mean? 产权证 ，right？ 如果你想登记的话 ，right？ 你必须要 ，OK， 公证 ，OK。如果你不公证的话 ，right？ 还是有效的，但是你不可以去登记 ，OK。A deed is valid without recording, right? But if you record it, it must be acknowledged, notarized, okay? Remember that, okay? Alright, notary public, okay? What is it all about, okay? 公证人员 okay, is authorized by Secretary of State to witness acknowledgements. Okay, 它是公证文件的 okay? The seal, 它的章又有什么东西？记体 notary public, okay? 它是一个公证。Name of the county, okay? Which county is it from? Los Angeles, County, San Bernardino County, Orange County, okay? Name of the notary, right? John Doe, Mary Smith, okay? The state seal, okay? 加州政府的图章 expiration date 过期的日期 ，okay？ 在这个章上面。So all these three, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, okay? You look at the seal, have the state seal, the name, expiration date, right? The county, and then it says, notary public. Okay, all 5 things. 这5个都是在这个图章上面的 ，OK? Recording in the county where property is located. OK, 你必须要那个房楼在哪个 county， 你在哪个 county 去登记 ，OK？ 不用弄错 ，OK？ 弄错没有效的 ，OK？ Do not give legal advice, OK？ 不用给有法律行为的意见 ，OK？ 怎么去做 ？So real estate salesperson or broker may not give legal advice, OK? That's the job of a lawyer, OK? As the law is highly complex and specialized profession, OK? 你没有律师的证，所以不用给关于有法律的意见出去 ，OK? A man who is his own lawyer has a fool for a client, OK? 最好不用当自己的律师了 ，OK? Alright, so we finished with chapter 2. 我们完成章子2了 ，OK? So we're a little bit early, a few minutes early. I'm gonna go and stop share here. We're gonna go to screen share or whiteboard. Okay. So next week we're gonna do chapters 3 and 4. Okay. And next week is, I believe, the 13th. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. So March 13th, Saturday 9 to 12. Okay. You could go through Zoom, or you could watch us on YouTube live. Okay. And you could search past broadcasts on YouTube channel. Okay. Subscribe. To the YouTube channel, and then you could search for other videos if you want to accelerate. Watch the latest. Often I date it, right? I do the date in the back of the chapters, okay? So don't try not to watch the oldest one, right? But we have a couple of sets, okay? So watch the most recent one, and then you could be ahead of the game, so to speak, okay? And then you could come and take the exam afterwards, okay? The exam, you have to be here physically at the school. There's 100 questions each. Okay, it takes you about an hour for each one, so 3 hours. Okay, you could come in on Saturday 9 to 12 and then wrap it up. You get your 3 certificates. Okay, and it's open book. Okay, and all you need is 60% to pass. and get your certs. Okay, and then after you get your certs, then we could help you to apply to take the real test. Okay. All right, so we're gonna end here, and I'm gonna do a translation. OK， 上个礼拜我们会做这样子3跟4 ，OK， 是3月13号9点到12点。OK， 你可以用 Zoom 来看，还是你用 YouTube Live，OK， 如果你到我们 YouTube Live Channel 的话，就是登记 Subscribe，OK， 你也可以找以前的video，OK， 然后你可以快速完成所有的这样子 ，OK， 1到15加补习，你就可以来到我们公司学校 ，OK， 去考试 ，OK， 3门课100题 ，OK， 大概1个钟头一课吧 ，OK， 所以星期六9点到12点3个钟头你可以完成之后，我们给你这个3个证书，然后你就可以去登记去考试 ，OK， 这个州政府的考试。然后我们学校考试的话是 open book， 你可以看书的，也可以看网址，也可以这是不是靠记忆力了 ，OK， 你可以看书等等你的 notes，OK， 然后60% 就过了 ，OK， 你拿到你这个3张证书之后，我们就帮你去申请去考州政府的考试 ，OK， 好，所以今天我们完毕了 ，OK，so we'll see you guys next week, okay, next Saturday from 9 to 12, okay, and think about your starting career in real estate, okay. There's a high potential, okay, and the market is in the right place, okay. So do your best to get your license quick, and then you could participate in this exciting market. All right. Okay. See you guys next week. OK， 好，谢谢你们收看。OK， 所以你做房地产这个行业是非常好的，这个时机很好。OK， 你拿到你的牌照就马上可以赚钱了。OK， 好，谢谢你们。